Simcha, celebration, Simcha, Simcha, celebration of life.
Hello, welcome to Simcha, a celebration of life. I'm Nikki Wellman. Paddy Meskin has for many years been an active and creative member of the Bet David congregation in Durban. Together with members of the Sisterhood of Temple David, they have been involved in numerous projects in the town of Mavela and Dwedwe.
Through all the work that I have been doing in international faith-based organizations, I've been working in international organizations since 1977. And particularly with HIV since 1994. We started looking at the communities who needed help. And many from all over, from the townships, from rural communities, from churches, from NGOs, etc., they all came. Most of them had some kind of structure. Most of them had somebody helping them. But one of the people who belonged to WCRP, he said, I would love you to come and see this community. They have nothing. And he took me on a trip to go and visit Mavela. One of the ladies gave us a piece of land that used to be a nursery school. And I said, okay, we'll fix it. And what we did was we got all the young people from the different faith communities. Jews, Christians, Muslims, Hindus. They all came out and they helped to clean the place. They built what they needed. They put beautiful murals onto the walls. And we got it ready and we were ready to open. And we opened on the 11th of February 2003 with 30 children.
We do love children very much. Some orphans, the sister would give them some clothes. When it's winter time, sisterhood is donating some toys, some food parcel for the creche.
We come from a pretty privileged background, and sometimes you just have to give back. And joining Sisterhood was one of the ways that you could do it, because they have so many different programs. This being probably their largest outreach program, but they have many, many others that they support. So just starting off as treasurer for the first time has just evolved to whatever Sisterhood needs doing, we do.
When we are short of something, we always call Mrs. Paddy Meskin. She all fixes what we need.
And it's been one of the most amazing things. I really feel that Hashem sits up there and looks after us, because every time we needed money, someone would come along, an angel would come along. And slowly we got this whole community. And suddenly the community started we got all sorts of people coming on board.
From small beginnings, they have watched their projects grow and develop to play an important part in sustaining the community of Mavela.
The hospice sisterhood help us too, because government said the hospice is a private. It's not, they can't help us. Department of Health, they don't help us. On the sisterhood, they help us. They bring the equipment, they bring everything on the sisterhood.
Nobody talked about HIV/AIDS when we first started there. It was forbidden. Slowly, when they realized that this whole project was started to help people who had AIDS or were affected by mothers and fathers having it, they started to open up a little bit. There's still stigma, but everybody knows that you can come here. We have patients who are dying and come to the hospice to die comfortably. And so another dimension was added to this. And it was just amazing how this all came into being.
With a hospice, we help people. They come from clinic. They don't know how to use the tablets. They don't know how to use their equipment. So we help them to learn how to look after themselves when they go home. Because some of them, they die because they don't know how to use their tablets because they don't get the right food. So we teach them how to eat, what type of food they must eat, when they go home, what they must do, how the place they stay in, they must stay in a clean place, they must do everything clean.
One of the ways that I saw this working was to look at a kibbutz type system, that everybody contributed and everybody would share in the bounty. So we were looking at the problems that we were having in terms of child-headed households who were falling pregnant. 2 years ago, I had 50 babies in that community. The ages of the children, the young girls, were 12 to 17. More than half of them were from our child-headed households. So we were seeing a huge problem. And one of the issues we realized was that, particularly in rural communities, there were no places and spaces for young people to go to do things together. There are no soccer fields, there are no tennis courts and things like that. So what do? They get together and they have sex, and they have babies, and they get HIV/AIDS. So I said, what we need to do is first of all, we need to try and build spaces, soccer courts, soccer fields, places like that. But we also need to build a centre where the young people can come, we can do things with them, we can use it for training, and our child-headed households, the little ones, can go and do their homework there, the ladies are there, etc. And so we collected money to put a youth hall together. And that youth hall is now serving every afternoon. We've got young children there, some of the older kids look after them. The high school will be able to use it, the community will be able to use it, and even the young men and young women. So we're actually catering for a huge sector.
We not suffered because we got our food from our garden, and we can look after ourselves, and we also can help our orphans. The main thing to us here is to look the orphans, because most of the children here, they haven't got nobody to look after. As myself here, I got about 7 orphans I look after to my house, because there's nobody to look after them.
If ever you look into the eyes of the children that are here, or to the people that you actually help, and you just see their thankfulness, or sometimes just that they absolutely have nowhere else to turn to. I mean, it does give you a sense you're here for a purpose and you're doing something with that purpose, not just enriching your own life. It's so important that we help each other. I mean, that's Ubuntu, isn't it? It's all part and parcel of it. And Judaism itself speaks tremendously about caring for one another. I mean, it's absolutely part of Judaism is that we care for each other. And it means our broader community, not just the Jewish community, much more the broader community as well.
Simcha, the celebration of life.
Musician and scholar Rabbi Avraham Trugman said the following about music. Music without words plays on the chords of the heart and the fantasy of the mind. Music is a cosmic language that unites the physical and spiritual, body and mind, universal and particular, while simultaneously transcending time and temporal space altogether. And on that musical note, we leave you for this week. Thank you so much for joining us, and please tune in again, same time, next week. And remember, we're always waiting to hear from you, so please find us on Facebook at Spirit Sister Productions Network. As always, from me, Nikki, and the team, shalom and have a safe and peaceful week.